What is up everyone, I'm Phoenix, how are you getting on? Welcome back to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. We're facing a very difficult decision here. Are we gonna tell SAYORI that we love her? Or are we gonna friend zone her, basically? Well, the thing here is, I could tell her that we love her, but there are a few issues with that because, first of all, I kinda went with the Natsuki route, I think. So I don't know if it will even work out or if I will end up hurting other people. Also, I don't even know if she will believe me. But on the other hand, SAYORI does need it. She needs me to be here for her. So, yes, I think if I just say friend zone that it won't be a good outcome. Besides, I do think that Fab likes her. So maybe we should just do... Frick it, we're gonna do it. I love you. Eh? Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you're truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens, as long as we continue like this every day. With you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Fab. Aww. Suddenly, SAYORI wraps her arms tightly around me. Fab, is this really okay? Yeah, I was about to kiss Natsuki, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I hold SAYORI in my arms and pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Fab. I want to be with you forever. Me too. Feel SAYORI's grip around me weaken a little bit. I have a feeling that something's gonna mess this up, for sure. What is this? SAYORI? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now. Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Fab. It's okay, SAYORI. It might take some time for things to change, to get better. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Oh, okay. I trust you. SAYORI and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? Heh. What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it has always been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. It's okay. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits your best. Hey, Fab. SAYORI gazed at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what SAYORI means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, SAYORI? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It felt like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. Well, I don't know if I do, but I can try. I say that, but in reality, I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to SAYORI. Yeah, I know that I love her, and she loves me. But I'm having as much trouble understanding SAYORI's feeling as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more, something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back the way they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But I know that I'll give it everything I've got. Sayori is the most important person to me. And I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. Again? I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki's already texting up a storm, but I can't respond, thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Fab! You're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monika's placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like, and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You think that on days this important she'd try a little harder? I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful, knowing it's not really that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all? You probably should. Haha, you should take a little responsibility for her, Fab. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? No, I don't believe so. But, maybe? That we're a couple now? That would be weird. I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. You probably actually do. Eh? Monika's being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. Okay, what's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the ones she's practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Okay. Get out of my head, 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 get out of my... Yeah, you get it. You get the message. Get out of my head. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Well, this isn't good. Ah. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Fab? What's wrong? Ah, nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. It's not even a poem. It's more of a cry for help, I think. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so... Ah. Well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. It's weird that there's no music here. Don't strain yourself. Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even a simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they have always been. That's all she needs, and I want to give to her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer, but since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? I know what's coming. But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Jesus Christ. I freaking knew it. But why? Why, Sayori? See, this doesn't make any sense. After what we talked about, exception has occurred. File, game scripts, chapter 5.rpi, line 307. See traceback.txt for details. Shall we look at that? Oh my freaking god. Well, I knew what to expect from this game. I knew what to expect. Like, honestly, it's not new to me. I never played it, but it's not all new to me. But freaking Christ. It's just so disturbing and terrifying. Why? That's the real question. Like, she seemed better after what we told her. She at least had hope. So why now? And after that poem, there can only be one person responsible for this. Although I have no idea how. Alright, you know what? Let's look at the thing. Okay, game scripts, chapter 5, line 307. See traceback. Okay. Let's see if I can find that. Traceback.txt. Well, I couldn't find it. But maybe I was a little too early. Maybe we weren't ready. Oh! Oh! Wait, what? Excuse me. Excuse me, game. Where's Sayori? I just see Monica. What? This game is messing with me. I can't even start a new game, it's just load game. File error, character sayori.cr. The file is missing or corrupt. What do you... File saves corrupt, starting a new game. Oh! Oh. Oh. I don't know what's happening. I can't read. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. This girl is my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, that kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long? We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Oh. Oh. Hey! It's an ordinary school day like any other. This is just insane. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friends groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. No, I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. What is going on? Is Sayori just deleted from the game? She doesn't exist. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. I do feel like I missed out on something by exiting too quickly when we found her. God dang it, I wish I could have saved her, but I don't think there's a way. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them will probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with it. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Fab? Monica! You're still here. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Ah, yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. I don't trust you. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What are you coming here for anyway? Oh, I've been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in a debate club, right? Haha, about that. I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity on how to prepare for events. I've already said this before. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? This sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? Haha. It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. 3. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey Fab, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you would do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Fab. You know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Okay. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. No. I dejectedly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Eh? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. And we mean Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Fab. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredible cute girls, but one is missing. So let me guess, you're Monica's boyfriend, right? No. What? No, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. But I do. A small figure makes him look like a first-year student. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Fab in the classroom, and he decided to come back to check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but it just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Fab? The girls have a few desks around to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in this club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Yeah, like a new game, right? Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. God damn this game, man. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Ah, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated, Yuri's trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I mean that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Fab, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. How long is this gonna continue? Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. But it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I desperately gasped something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Haha, I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. Looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Yeah, okay. Maybe I should... Oh! Wait, no! Where are my saves? Game? Come on! Oh my god, I can't even go back. Are you serious? Are you actually serious? History? Yeah, see, like... Oh my god. Oh. Right. Okay. Well, let me check again. Pictures. Oh. Well, that's kind of cute. Wait. There she is. She still exists somewhere. Interesting. Why is there mail? Why would I get mail? From who? Files? Oh, I can actually access the files in here. Wow. Traceback, reset, happy thoughts. Oh. What the frick is this? Reset. There's a file called reset. Characters. She's deleted from the game files. I wonder if that's actually the case with the actual game files then? Traceback. Traceback, Command a Quantum Server. Container title Doki Doki Literature Club. Uncaught runtime exception. Exception stack trace. File game script line 67. Huh. What? Exception. Oh geez, I didn't break anything, did I? Hold on a second, I can probably fix this, I think. Actually, you know what? This would probably be a lot easier if I just deleted her. She's the one who's been making this so difficult. Well, here goes nothing. Okay. Guess that's what happens here. Great! Creepy! I can still start a new game. Wonder if that will bring her back. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Are we actually gonna play through the whole thing again? Because that would... No, there's no way. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them? Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Again. Then next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Fab? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But... I'm sorry, I thought... The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Fab. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price you need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes lit up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Fab? Yeah, I don't have a choice. It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Fab, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this, you're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay everyone, I think that with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me. Fab, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hehe. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? Yes. I already feel like anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. Can't wait. So I guess Fab doesn't have any memory of any of this, which is weird. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Not without SAYORI. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. I don't know, honestly. Oh, a special poem. Would you like to read it? Yes. A joke. A man walked into a club. In the club there was a girl who liked him very much. They spent some time together and then she liked him even more. One day the girl realized he was in love with him. Before disaster could happen, a third party intervened with her programming. Suddenly the girl hated herself for being in love. This contradiction caused the script to derail. The universe started to collapse, but she killed herself just in time. Well, there's the explanation in case you didn't realize yet. What happens? Okay, you know what, let's just finish this poem and then we'll see. Should I even go for Natsuki or Yuri at this point? Like, I'm not so sure. Monica isn't in this, by the way. Okay, we'll see. I think I'm gonna go Yuri route then. Just to see what happens. Sunset? No. Massacre. Jesus. It's funny because the words are still the same. What if I choose a word that doesn't fit any of them? Or are they? Maybe they're not the same. That's weird. Right? Yeah, that word has a different meaning now. Termination. Imagination. Contamination. Email-ination. Okay, just pick the extreme difficult words and that's definitely Yuri. Hi again, Fab. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Hahaha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging around. Oh, okay. You had no face there for a second. Thanks for keeping your promise, Fab. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment to you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh! Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Monica? I can't read. Something Natsuki certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga... Rue. Monica? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Oh, the music's weird? I'm sorry, Fab. Make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Ah, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try to be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Again, I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. But this is... how's this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I definitely read this. No, I won't. Enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Mona to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. Gets a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. Are we just gonna get every route with every girl? I just realized that now. That's probably what's gonna happen. Happen. What? She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Ah, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. It's something very obvious that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about the religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped there must have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. No, not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah, you made it sound like it was gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Huh. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Fab? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Like with any of these girls. It's just that this kind of story is the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. What? Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. You don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body what? I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, Jesus, that actually scared me. Yes! I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip in the seat next to Yuri. Oh, yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not like I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particular bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just baiting in the feeling of... I couldn't read that fast. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... There, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. Ah, I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead urge my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kinda difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Okay. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides in under the thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. You ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. So you've been so patient with me? Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri. This might be a little silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second-guessed things she says and all that. Ah, that's what you were talking about. Sorry, I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. I didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Haha. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Eh? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... Am I breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna leave this episode here. Wow, a lot has happened during this one. I don't know what to think, really. It was kinda creepy. And disturbing. I have no idea what we're doing here, like... I think we're actually gonna go through some of the scenes again, at least. But I don't know where it's gonna lead. It's weird that they just deleted Sayori from the whole game and deleted my saves and everything. I guess we'll see what happens next time. Let me know what you thought. Of course, disturbing. That's why I warned at the beginning of the series. That's what this game is about, and we're just starting to see it right now. It's kind of cool too, you know? Like the way that the game deletes stuff and Monica does stuff. Anyway, this is Phoenix. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe now for more to come. But anyway, until then, be brave, be kind, and stay awesome.